Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Shahab Khan. This is our 13th lecture video recorded for grade 9 chemistry. In this lecture video, we will discuss chemical species, and in the chemical species, we will learn about the ions and type of ions. Let's begin our topic. Chemical species. A species are particles that take part in chemical reaction are called chemical species. Each and every species which take part in certain chemical reactions, which undergoes chemical changes, which are able to make chemical reactions with other substance, that species are called chemical species. As from their name, it indicates that chemical species is a substance which make new chemicals. There are three different types of chemical species that we will discuss it later, but in this lecture video we will focus on the first type, which is ion. And ion have two different types. One of them are cation and the other one is anion. Similarly, molecular ion, which is also called radicals, we will discuss this molecular ion in the next upcoming lecture video. And the final one is free radical, and the free radical will be discussed in the end of this week. So, by definition, a chemical species undergoes chemical changes, and the chemical changes mean that there will be afferent changes occur in the chemistry of a given substance. For example, if we consider two different chemicals A and B, and we want to these reactants to follow chemical changes, then if they make AB, then the chemistry of AB will be totally different from the chemistry of A and B alone. So it's a considerable point to learn the chemistry of both reactants and product and then correlate with each other. Then we will find that the chemistry, such as properties, proposition, molecular elemental ratios, composition, whatever the chemistry is, that will be changed from this reactants. So we will call this A and this B that this is a chemical species because it take part in this chemical reaction, and B will be also called a chemical species. Sometimes we say that this A is ion or this B is ion. So when ions, for example, if we consider sodium plus and chlorine negative, and they undergo chemical changes and make for us sodium chloride, then this is also ion, this is also ion. One ion combine with other ion and make sodium chloride. So these are chemical species. This one is also a chemical species. So a chemical, two different species combine in a given chemical reactions and make a product which is called sodium chloride, and this one is a new product. So the chemistry of sodium chloride will be totally different from that of initial chlorine ion and initially sodium ion. So let's move forward a little bit. As in the textbook, chemical species is defined as chemical species that is atoms, molecules, ions, etc. take part in a chemical reaction. Chemical species is maybe this one, or this one. But in this lecture video, we will discuss only ions. An atom is a natural particle. An atom is a neutral particle. Neutral means there is no afferent charge, no charge on this atom is present in naturally occurring condition. The number of electron and proton are equal in atom. In atom, if proton and neutron is equal, then positive charge will be equal to negative charge. So both will be cancel the effect of each other. That's why an atom is always in neutral form. But the particle that carries electrical charge, positive or negative, due to the loss or gain of one or more electron, is called an ion. If we consider sodium, which is neutral, if they lose one electron, they will be get positive 1 and 1 electron. By losing 1 electron, sodium will be get positive 1 charge, and this positive 1 will be called ion. Similarly, chlorine is naturally neutral. When it get electron from another source, it gave us chlorine negative 1. So this one is an ion. So this is also ion, this one is also ion. This afferent negative charge and this afferent positive charge are because of losing electron, because sodium lost electron here, and this one is because of gaining electron. So because of gaining and losing electron, positive or negative charge will be affair on an atom, and that positive and negative charge when affair on atom, we will call that atom is called ion, and when the charge is positive it will be called cation, and when the charge is negative it will be called anion. This is the short introductory definition given in this textbook. Let's consider cation with example. The atom which loses electrons from its outermost shell, a net positive charge is apparent on that net atom. Consider again sodium. We say that sodium have 3 different shell. Here is 2 electron, here 8 electron, here is 1 electron. For obtaining octetool, to obey octetool, it required to remove this electron, the outer 1 electron. So this outer electron will be get removed, and sodium will be something like this, 2 and 8, and the last one is 0. By losing 1 negatively charged electron, so this will become positive 1, as discussed in the previous slides. So we will consider that sodium will be positively charged by losing 1 electron. Similarly, hydrogen will lose 1 electron and will be charged positively. Similarly, magnesium lost 2 electrons from their outer shell and gets 2 positive charge. This 2 positive charge is lost because in the last shell of magnesium there is 2 is different electron. So their 2 electron will be lost for obtaining octetool, for obeying octetool. That's why we see that there is a 2 positive charge. So this is cation. When an atom loses electron and gets a resultant positively charged on that atom, that positively charged species will call cation, and this cation take part in chemical reaction, and because of this properties that they take part in a chemical reaction, we call them that this is a chemical species. This is the introduction of anion. The atom which gain electrons are not negatively charged is observed on the atom. The negatively charged species is called anion. The negatively charged, this atom is negatively charged. This is obtained by gaining one electron. This chlorine gain one electron and become negatively one charge. The oxygen gain two electrons, and that's why it's -2 charge. By gaining electrons, the resultant atom will be gets negatively charged, and that negatively charged atom is then called anions, and this anion take part in chemical reaction, and that's why it is called chemical species. So we say that this is chemical species, and chemical species because of negatively charged. So this is the introduction of anion. Difference between atoms and ions. Atom is neutral. It has same number of proton and electron as discussed. Because of equal number of proton and electron, the positive and negative charge cancel the effect of each other. That's why the atom is neutral. While in ions, it may be positively because of protons, it may be negative because of electron. If the number of electron is more, then the atom will be negatively charged. If the number of proton is more, then it will be called positive. In sodium +1, here is proton number much more than the number of electron. That's why it's positive. And in chlorine, negative charge is because of the excess of electron here in the chlorine atom. That's why it's called anion. It is a smallest particle of an element. It is the smallest unit of ionic compound. It is smallest particle of an element. For example, consider hydrogen element. Here is one atom, and the smallest particle is hydrogen. Oxygen is O2. Here is oxygen, one atom is the smallest part of oxygen element. But in this case, consider sodium chloride. It is ionic compound, and this is the smallest unit of ionic compound. So this is the one. This is another difference. It can or cannot exist indefinitely. For example, sodium, potassium, and iron. If we consider this one, this can be existable, but this one is very highly reactive. So it easily react with oxygen and form iron oxides, which also called corrosion of iron. This is least stable. This is up to some extent more stable than this one. But it cannot exist indefinitely. For example, sodium, potassium, iron +2. This is the least stable. It always take part in chemical reaction. It instantly undergoes chemical reaction. That's why it's called chemical species. Thanks for watching this lecture video.